Flosstube, how are you? This is Elizabeth with the Silver Scissor, and I'm here to show some of my stitching to you. So it's been about 2 weeks. I think it's been exactly 2 weeks since I last did it. As I said, I hopefully will be able to do it more often once school starts and all my kids are in school. But right now, this is what we get. I may not get another one before school starts in about 2 weeks. But then I'll have time alone during the day when they are not here. My youngest is going to preschool this year, and she's super excited, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. Maybe volunteer in my kindergartner's classroom, we'll see. So I wanted to start out by telling you about some of the other Flosstubers that I have been watching. I always think it's fun to sit and watch, and I have to admit I go for kind of the shorter videos at the moment because, like I said, I've got kids all around and I don't usually have time to sit and watch a lot. However, that being said, some of them, like I like to watch Pam and Steph a lot, and theirs are usually like an hour and a half or so. I'll watch it like a half hour, and then later I'll watch another half hour, just until I have it all done. If you haven't watched Pam and Steph, I think I mentioned them in one of my other videos, but they are super funny. It's a mother and daughter. They work great together, and it's really fun to see them. Plus, Stephanie works at a needle workshop, and so we get to hear a lot about what that is like, and see pictures of the shop, and it's really fun. Another one I've been watching is Stash Sisters, and she only has a few videos, maybe like 4 or 5. She's new as well, and she is just so fun. She's got funny stories that she brings in there that she shares, and I really like her style of stitching. She's really fun to watch. I've also been watching Basic Stitches. They don't live very far from me. The daughter, her name's Jordan. She is maybe like 5 or so minutes away. I don't know. Or 5 miles is what I meant to say, not 5 minutes. But she was talking one day about the jets going over, because she lives by the Air Force Base, and I happen to live by the Air Force Base as well. But anyway, in Utah, and the other one lives in the more northern part of Utah. But they're fun to see, and it's fun to hear them talk about things they've done because it's places I've been before. And of course, it's fun to see their stitching, and they've had, I think it was Jamie, the mom, her sister, I think it was her sister that was on there like a week or so ago, and they've had her mom on as well. So it's fun to get to see their stitching, but also other people that love to stitch as well. I also have been watching a new stitcher, and she is called the Broadway Stitcher. It's her name, and she kind of combines her love of seeing Broadway shows and stitching. And I think, what a coincidence. I love Broadway shows, and I love stitching. I think I told you guys at the very beginning in my first video that I like to be in musical theater. I like to do shows. I usually do a couple a year. I was in 2 of them in 2017, and then I did one right at the very beginning of the year, and it ended in April. And I've kind of taken a little break. My kids are getting older, and I wanted to take some breaks so we could go do stuff. And then also this fall, I have one son who's on a mountain biking team at his high school, so we're going to have busy Saturdays with that, and so I needed to not do a show right now so that I can watch him doing things. But there's a few in the future that are coming up that I think would be fun to audition for, so I'm hoping that I can do those. Anyway, so the Broadway Stitcher, she lives in New York City, and she did a little review of some of the shows that she's seen, and she said she goes to quite a few a month, I think, and I would just love it. I would love to live in New York. When Broadway shows come here to Utah, they're always really expensive, and I know that when I have been to New York in the past, it has been cheaper to go to a show there than it has been when it comes here. Theater and music in general are kind of big here in Utah. There's a lot of talent, and I think that they know that they have a lot of people who want to come and see those professional shows, and so they can charge what they want, but they are really expensive. But they're having Dear Evan Hansen and Finding Neverland are coming in 2019, and I am dying to go to those. I really hope I can do that. So anyway, so she talks about the show she's reviewed, and she also shows her cross stitch that she's working on. And so that's really fun to see. Plus, like I said, I love to hear about shows and the things that she's been to. In my first video, I told you guys that I had cross-stitched, and then I took a break, and not really an intentional break. I just kind of started learning other things. And the big thing that I did was quilting. When my oldest, who's just turned 15 last week, when he got old enough to go into a big bed, I could not find a quilt that I liked for his bed. And so I thought, well, I'll just make my own. I know how to sew. I can do it. So I did. And I actually don't know where that one is. I should have brought that since I was telling the story, but brought it down. But I have no idea where it is at the moment. But my kids, as they saw me pulling out quilts to show, started, so I've got quite a pile here. There's like 8 or 9 probably. And I will not show you all of those today. But one that was super important that my son showed you, even though it's not a quilt and I did not make it, was this one that my mother-in-law crocheted around the edges for him. It's just a flannel blanket. And I have done this before. But anyway, she crocheted around the edges. This was puffier at first, but it's been loved and washed a whole bunch of times. But so for him, for my 5-year-old, here is one of his baby blankets that she made for him. This one right here. So I really love, oh, my earring just fell out. I'll just take the other one out. It didn't match anyway. I really love 30s reproduction fabric, and I really like all of the reproduction fabric and the stories about it and why people used to use what they did. So anyway, this one is called Grandma Clintey's. I don't know if you can, it is, I have to tell you, so I spent all of this time on it. I hand appliqued all of the flowers and stems and everything, and then it's machine quilted. And I washed it the first time, and guess what? I don't know what was in my wash, but it left little brown spots. I don't even know if you can see them. Anyway, it made me so mad, and I cannot get them out. So anyway, like I said, this is hand appliqued. Let me show you. So you can kind of see up close what is going on, but you can see, look right there. It makes me so mad. I don't know what it is. Anyway, this is about a twin size. I know it's probably hard to see. You can't really see the whole thing right now. But this was one of my favorite ones. Plus, it was by hand, so it took me forever to finish it. And it is made out of the 1930s reproduction fabric. I love to hear the stories about it. During the Depression, they would use the sacks that their flour or sugar or whatever came in to cut up and make things with. So whether it was quilts or dresses or whatever, but during the Depression, they reused what they had. I kind of used a cheater method. I'll bring this back over to applique these. I cut up like cereal box or granola bar box or something like a lighter weight cardboard, and I cut it to the size of what I wanted. The petals are each individual. I don't know if you can tell that, but they're, maybe on this one you can tell because it's pink, but they're individual petals, and I did it around the cardboard box for my little template. Then I cut out my petals and stem, and I did it for all of it. And I starched it around there so then I could pull it out and it would keep its shape while I did it. And this one called for not needle turn applique, but to do, so it was kind of, it almost looks like embroidered on. So I just did it with cross stitch floss, like 310 DMC, right in there, and sewed those on, and I love it. I made another one that was this same way, and it was kittens, and I gave it to my sister-in-law when she had her first baby, and it's super cute. I think I did pink and orange and yellow, but it should be on my old blog if you were feeling the need to do nothing besides dig for it. Anyway, it's on there. It's super cute. I wish I would have made one for my daughter. So her daughter that I made it for is maybe 8 months younger than my daughter, and I made other blankets for or other quilts for my daughter, but I didn't made that one for hers, and I wish I would have made one for mine too, because it turned out really cute. Anyway, also out of feedsack fabric. Both this one and the kitten one, the pattern is from a store. There's a store in Orem, Utah called American Quilting, and they have their own brand of patterns called Under the Garden Moon, and that is what this one is, and it is what the kitten is as well. It's actually also where I bought, let me show you this one. They had a model of this one. This is a baby one. This is one of the ones that I made. That same daughter I was just talking about. This is her, oh, it's upside down to you. So this is nursery rhyme fabric, the big one, and then these are just my scraps again that I had from other projects. Anyway, so that store is in Orem, Utah, and I do think that they have a website for the patterns if you are ever interested in them. So I quilted a lot for several years, probably 5 or 6 years, and when we lived down in that part of Utah, Utah County, it's about an hour from where we live now, but there were quilt shops, there were tons of them, and a lot of people quilted. Then I moved up here, and there's like 2 quilt shops in the county that I'm in now. And so I kind of stopped because one of them I felt like they had some fabric that I liked. Actually, I kind of felt like about both of them, that their buyers and I didn't necessarily like the same things. I love purple. I know that's another Flosstuber I watch is Priscilla and Chelsea, and I know they talk about they don't like purple except for maybe for Halloween, but I love purple, and I know that at one of these quilt shops that I went to, I was looking for something purple, and I said something to one of the ladies working there, and she said that they don't carry very much purple. So maybe I'm the only one, but I do really like purple, as you can see by the purple on this one. So as I mentioned, my friends and I, it feels like it's really jiggly. My friends and I used to quilt together all the time, my friends in my neighborhood. And one of the things that we did was, we did a couple of these, I'll have to show you the other ones later, but we did quilt block swaps. So we each made, for this one, this is one of those quilts, we had, this color was kind of our tie-in fabric. So we picked this one, and whatever they made had to coordinate with this color, with this fabric right here. And I honestly cannot remember what this fabric is. It is possible it's a Blackbird Design ones, but I can't remember. It may be Three Sisters for Moda. But, so anyway, we each made a quilt, and I don't remember how many of them, 12 or 16 probably, that made this together. And so we each made a block. We told them it had to be, I think this is a 1 foot, a 12-inch square. So we made, say there were 12 people in it, we made 12 squares, kept one, gave out 11, and then we got one from each of our friends. So not only did we make the quilt, but we have squares from our friends. And I believe, so this is some of it. Here, I'll stand up. I don't think you guys can really see even when I stand up because I'm not very far from my wall here. But, so you can see we each kind of coordinate, and I don't, let's see. I believe that this right here is the one that I made this, but I'm not positive. But, so this is our quilt. And I have to show you my cheater finishing method. So fabric for the back sometimes can get expensive. So what I do is I put, oh yeah, that must have been it because here's another block, just in different colors that are the same. If I have extra blocks left over, I'll stick them on the back because that covers, and I just pieced any scraps that I had that matched or coordinated. So it saves money on the back, and plus it's kind of fun. I've also stuck quilt blocks from other quilts in. I have another stack here. I'll have to show you. I only wanted to show you a couple quilts, and like I said, my kids got them all out for me. But now let's talk about stitching. I've been trying to work hard on my summer pieces. I kind of plan on putting them away maybe in a week or so, maybe at the end of the month. I haven't really decided yet. But I've been working on them hard. I think I can put them away and then work on fall stuff and then bring them back out again in January after we've done fall and then Christmas. So I think at least by the beginning of September, I will just be doing fall stuff. So this one is American Sampler by Paulette Stewart and Plum Street Samplers. I thought I got my, okay. So that is not it. This is it, the finished piece. So I've got quite a lot, well I've got half of the bricks at least outlined. This is the top half of the house and then the bottom, and then I've started on the top. And I needed something that wasn't brick or gray, so I started this and the little flowers here on the side. This is 36 count Patriots Brew. Patriots Brew or Winter Brew, one of the two brews, linen. And I love this piece. It is huge, and it has taken a long time to do the bricks, and I keep looking at it and thinking, oh, I have not done very much on it, but I really have spent a lot of hours. I just feel like it's taking forever, but I do love this one. The other summer one I've been working on is this Summer Schoolhouse, and I have the whole series. I've only done the first. I'm hoping maybe I can work on it hard and finish it before the end of the summer, and then start focusing on the fall ones. Fall is my favorite time, which is weird because Halloween's not necessarily my favorite holiday, but I really like for cross stitch. And so anyway, I always have one of those going, or I have some Thanksgiving ones. I don't have any Thanksgiving decorations, so I bought some Thanksgiving patterns so that I could have Thanksgiving decorations, and then I need to get moving on Christmas too. So anyway, hopefully I can have this done by the end of the summer. It's not very big, so maybe if I focus on it. But like I said, I keep focusing on Thanksgiving or fall instead. I started this one. This is Bobbing for Pumpkins by Little House, or not Little House, Brenda Gervais. What did I just forget? I've got patterns right on in front of me. Whatever Brenda Gervais, With Thy Needle and Thread. I'm losing my mind. So anyway, Bobbing for Pumpkins, there's another witch that goes over here. I have loved this one. I thought I would start, and I finished my other witch that I'll show you in a second, and I just thought, well, I'll just do a couple flags of the little flags up here, and then I'll put it away until fall time. And I just kept going. And so this is what I've got now. I have to tell you about the wood trill floss though. So I had bought wood trill for this, and I told you before that I keep all of my floss and supply the charts and everything on the X-Stitch app and use that. So as I was looking at other things, I kept looking through and thinking, oh, I've got wood trill. I don't need to buy it again for some of these other projects. So I opened it up and got started in here, and I realized I only had one, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, I have like 5 projects that this goes into, and so I need more. Well, guess what? They are gone everywhere. They're sold out. I had gone up to Shepherd's Bush, which is my LNS, and I overheard one of the ladies that works there saying something about them, they're out of them at the warehouse or something. My hair is really flat today, sorry. And so I thought, oh great, where am I gonna find it? So I checked 1-2-3 Stitch, they are out too. I looked at a bunch of different places, could not find it. So online. Finally I found some at Anita Little Stitches, and so let me show you though. I got it, you could buy it there in 10-yard skeins instead of 5. So I bought 2 of them. I still have my original one, which is this, because I need to make sure, I didn't want to get one way later and then not have enough, use this in other projects and then not have enough to do the second witch's dress. So I thought, well, I'll use the rest of it on the Bobbing for Pumpkins, and then I'll use this in my other ones. And I'm glad I did, because this is looks so much different. The brown looks the same, but look how much gray is in that. I mean, it's great, it's just different. So this one, there's a little bit of gray, but I feel like you kind of have to look hard for it. So anyway, if you need it, it's at Anita Little Stitches. She, I think she's out of Texas, but I got it really quick. She, you do have to buy $25 worth of stuff. So I had to buy another pattern and floss, which I'll show you in a minute. I mean, really, it's tragic. That's what I told my husband. So anyway, this slightly different, but still works well. And I've used it. I bought 2 of those little tiny art things. I started this Harvest Keeper from Plum Street, but this is the wood trail here. I don't know if you can see it. And I went down with each row, down and up instead of over like I usually do. But I did that because I thought maybe the trunk would look more trunk-like. But anyway, that's the wood trail. You can see in some places it is super gray, like right up there. And I don't have any very gray spots in this, on her dress is where it is, which you can't really see because I'm behind it. But anyway, so it definitely is a different dye lot. So my advice is to finish the one that you have on the projects you started it on before you get more or buy more for different projects, because definitely different. Anyway, I've loved this one. I know beehives have been super popular lately. I'm not a huge fan, or I haven't been a huge fan. I mean, they're okay, they're great, but I just, whatever, they're cute. But anyway, so then I started doing this and I stitched this beehive. I now want to do all the beehive things because I love it. Look how fun it is. And it looks a lot different than the picture. The colors look a lot different than the picture, even though these are the called for colors. They look a lot different. But I love it, and I got so excited I started this one before I thought. I wanted to get more of this done, but I couldn't help it. I started that last night, the second beehive. So the finished one looks like this. So Harvest Keeper by Plum Street. Okay, I'll show you I've only gotten 2 patterns. I try not to buy too far ahead because I know that my tastes change. What did I just move? I just moved the wrong stuff over. Okay, I have to show you those in a minute. And I put them with my finished stuff. I tend to not buy too far ahead because I know that my tastes change, and I know that I've bought stuff in the past, and then I start thinking, oh, I don't like this as much as I thought that I did, and so then I will never make, I might not make it, I don't know. So I just try not to buy too far ahead. So I have in 2 weeks bought 2 patterns. The first one I'll show you, this is the one that I bought from Anita Little Stitches when I had to do $25 worth. So I bought this one. This is, again, Plum Street and Ghoul Tidings is what it's called. And then I bought, she has a floss packs on there for a lot of them that just are all of the floss. So that's what I bought for my $25 and a little more. And I just need to get some fabric for it. Shepherd's Bush has tons of models on the wall, and I am pretty sure that this is one of them. And for the ones that they have the models for, they usually have fabric cut and ready to go, whatever they used. I mean, you can have them cut more if that's not what you want, but if it is, they have it ready to go. So I've got to go up there and get one of those. And then I told you I need to start some Thanksgiving ones. So I got this one. This is Brenda Gervais with the Needle is what it's called. And it says, thankful, grateful, and blessed. So thankful, blessed, harvest, harvest and grateful. And then little pilgrims. So I'm excited to start this one as well. And I think this one is from 123 Stitch. I can't remember what I was ordering, but yeah. Anyway, I was going to say something else, but I know what it was. So I feel like I have been gravitating toward With Thy Needle on Plum Street lately. I've been kind of on a Plum Street streak. I went up to Shepherd's Bush for something else. They were starting to get their Halloween stuff out. They still had a blank area that she was trying to fill in, but the shop was really busy at the time. And it was the Plum Street ones that I was most interested in. But I feel like those two are what I kind of gravitate for. And I'm trying to branch out to other things while still doing every single one of both of those 2 projects. But, so if you have other favorite brands that you like, or favorite designers that you like, that are similar style, let me know, because I do want to try some. I'm interested in the Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, and I think that is a Stacy Nash one. I'm sorry, I keep jiggling my camera when I lean on my table. Anyway, but I don't know. I don't love to stitch big white things, and it has a big white house, because I feel like my white doesn't look as good. So anyway, let me know if you've done that one. Let me know. And then there's a couple of Stacy Nash, or that one was Stacy Nash, and there's a couple Scarlet House ones that I'm interested in as well. So I've got to branch out because it's stuck. But I love the stuck that I'm doing, so maybe it doesn't matter. So I finished this one. This is October 31st. No, it's not. I have October 31st ready to go. This is Witch's Night Out by With Thy Needle. So I don't know if you can see it. This is 36 count country mocha linen. And this is just a piece, like, I think they're like scrap pieces or whatever that they have that they can sell. They're usually a little bit cheaper, and this is one of them. So I've got a ton of room. I can, trim it and maybe make some other small ones off this. Country mocha, did I say that? I've used this for a lot of my fall ones because I feel like it's kind of fall looking. You can kind of tell there. Okay, now I have a big question for you guys. So I finished this one. I showed you guys this last time, but this is Lizzie Kate's Tingles. So this isn't a size that I haven't been able to find a frame for. I usually frame them myself because I know it's cheaper. But I've been looking. There's a Home Goods by me, and they have a good selection of frames and for fairly inexpensive. So I've tried there. I've tried Ross. I need to start looking at some of the craft stores. So this week I got a coupon for Joann's that was 70% off framing plus an additional 5% off that. So I thought, okay, that might be as cheap as it gets. I'm going to go in and see how much it'll be. I haven't gotten anything custom framed for maybe 10 years or so. And I knew it would be more expensive than doing it myself by quite a bit. But the price she quoted me was $400. That was before the coupon, $400. And I was thinking, okay, well, this is Joann's. This isn't even like, I know people talk about, is it Jill Renzel? And she's kind of by Shepherd's Bush in Ogden. So she's not very far from me. I knew it should be cheaper than that, but my goodness. I obviously did not leave it there. After the coupon, it was going to be like $125 or something like that. And is that normal for it to be that much money? Because I'm going to have to just keep looking here for a frame and do it myself. If they're really, I know I've seen other people go out and they'll bring home like 4 that they had framed that week. Is that like a normal amount? I felt like I didn't even have like that elaborate of a frame. I actually had several frames and she priced a few out for me. And one was cheaper than the others, but it was still the high 300s. And before the coupon, of course. But so I was a little surprised as it just gone up. I swear the last time I got one custom framed, and I probably did have a coupon, it was like $50 or $60 or something like that. So it was more expensive for sure than if I did it myself. But what I want to know, is that really what it costs everywhere? Is Joann's just more expensive? Do they expect me to come in with a super great coupon, or a coupon that I think is super great, and then they know I'll be using a coupon, so they charge more? I know with their fabric, I have felt that way before. I feel like their fabric seems to shrink a lot more, especially their knits, and they seem to also be more expensive. I have a knit that I had bought for my daughter and I made her a little dress, and it didn't really shrink hardly at all, but I've heard that Joann's shrink a lot, plus they're probably a little more than twice as expensive as what I can buy them for online. So anyway, let me know about framing. If you have any great ideas to get cheaper framing, let me know, because I just do not remember it being that much. I talked to my other friend who stitches, and her husband actually makes frames for her, so she hasn't had it custom framed either. but she was surprised by the number 2. But maybe I'm just totally out of the loop. Like I said, it's been about 10 years probably since I had anything custom framed. And I do not remember that, but for real, let me know. Maybe I'm just completely out of touch. But let me know if that's normal. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is I want to hear what you guys are getting ready to stitch for the fall season and Christmas season. So leave comments telling me about it. I told you I was interested in that Stacy Nash Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. There's one that's a Scarlet House one, and I can't remember what Bringing Home the Tree, maybe something like that. That it's a little house and a girl pulling a tree on a sled. Let's see. Oh, one of them that I really want that is not, well, it's with the 4th of July things at Shepherd's Bush, but I think it could go for all year. It's the Heritage Sampler, and I've seen a bunch of you working on it, and I absolutely love it. And I feel like there's pilgrims on there. There's, I don't know if it's supposed to be the Mayflower or Columbus. I think it might be Columbus. He's on there, so I feel like you can really keep it out for like all holidays, all American holidays, or just all year. That's what I would do. Anyway, the one thing that I don't like about it is I am terrified of snakes, and I definitely live in the wrong place to feel that way. I am equally afraid of garden snakes as I am rattlesnakes. It does not matter. Sticks that look like snakes terrify me. I could go on and on. Anyway, it has a snake on it. I don't know if I can stitch a snake. Like really, I have nightmares about them, and I don't even like to look at pictures of snakes. Cartoon snakes, like in my kids' books, are okay, but they had this one book about snakes. I couldn't do it. I was like, this is a special book for you to read with Daddy, because I couldn't do it. So anyway, there's a little snake on it, and it says, "Don't tread on me." I'm thinking of leaving off the snake and centering the words, because they're kind of at the bottom, I think. Centering the words so that they're there, but I don't know what to do. Honestly, I went to go buy it, and I couldn't see, I'd seen people do it online, couldn't tell really what that was supposed to be until I got to the store, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It has a snake on it. What could I do there instead? So, let me know. Anyway, let me know what you're stitching, or even what your hang-ups are. I told you about my hang-up on Hollyberry Farm was the big white house. There's a few other things. There's Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street as well that has a big white house. And I think, I don't know, that's a lot of white. So we'll have to see. We'll see if I break down and do it. If you have any great tips for working on white or with white floss, I want to know. But yeah, anything you're getting ready to do for fall or Christmas or winter, I want to know about them, because I'm always looking for more. And apparently I feel like I'm not enabled enough by Instagram and Flosstube. I need more. Apparently. I actually don't. I could probably be good for a long, long time. But I'm always looking for other stuff. Yeah, so I think that is about all for today. Leave me a comment. I will link the people that I shouted out or mentioned in my video. And you can follow me on Instagram. It is the Silver Scissors Sews on there. I actually started it to show to my friends pictures of what I was sewing for my kids or whatever. But then I realized I don't take pictures of it very often. And I mean to, but I just don't, because I forget. And so, yeah, it's kind of just morphed, because I started posting stitching and then it became all stitching. So, anyway, follow me on Instagram, whatever, and go definitely check out the stitchers that I mentioned earlier. And I will hopefully see you in a week or so, and if not, I will definitely see you at the beginning of September when school starts, so that, because I will have time to do it then without a lot of distractions. Right now I send them all down in the basement and said, stay there, I'll call you when you're done. So that's where they are. They're downstairs watching a movie or something. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, all right, thanks. I'll see you. Bye.